Welcome, everyone, to episode 62 of the Do You Know Ball podcast. I am Matt DeGennaro, joined here with Zachary Pappenberg. Zach, say hi to the lovely people.
What's going on, everybody?
Yes, and today we are joined again by former Division Three athlete Jonathan Stevens. Jonathan, say hi to the lovely people out there.
What's going on, everybody? Happy to be
Yes.
here, as
Wow.
always.
Oh, okay. He's back. And we never thought we'd get him back, but that seems to be a recurring theme on this show. So are you guys ready to talk some sports today?
I'm most certainly ready.
Go,
There's a
let's
lot
get
of
going.
Okay, okay.
Woo!
Don't need
woo.
don't need to get
All
so
right,
aggressive.
there's a lot to go into.
The energy's here. Let's go.
Okay, let's settle down a little bit.
All right, well, there's a lot to get into with this week's pod. There obviously the All-Star week break has happened for the MLB, so we're gonna get into that. Any trade deadline rumors for both the Mets and the Yankees? LeBron potentially being traded. Who knows? The Lakers just really seem done with him. We'll get into that. And of course, the newest news that came out today was Bradley Beal got traded, and it's a doozy. So we'll get into it, and we'll get started with the MLB All-Star Game. Deej, you wanna kick us off?
Yeah, sure, why not? So the MLB All-Star game ended in a dramatic fashion. The National League won in the very first swing off, which I thought was absolutely phenomenal. Fantastic even. I think that's a better word to use there. So for those that don't know exactly how it works, I'll give you the quick rundown of the game. You had Paul Skeens on the mound for the NL to start, Tarek Skubal on the mound for the AL to start. Skubal starts off a little shaky, gives up 2 runs in the first. The NL looks very strong, and for a couple innings, there's really no action, and then all of a sudden the NL, blows the doors wide off, and Pete Alonso hits a, multi home run, whatever it is, however many RBIs it was. Pete Alonso hits a big home run, and the NL is really starting to pull away. And then, inch by inch by inch, the AL starts to climb back because the AL is relentless. And then in the ninth inning, of course, Edwin Diaz blows the game for the National League, and the AL ties it in the bottom of the no top of the ninth. They tie it, and it was just such a dramatic fashion. Stephen Kwan doing what Stephen Kwan does. Johnny, don't wouldn't you say like Stephen Kwan plays like me a little bit?
Yeah.
That didn't sound very convincing.
Would you like to tell the people how you play?
How I play? Yeah, I play like Stephen Kwan. No, Stephen Kwan plays like me. I'm just me and Ichiro Suzuki. We kind of share very similar qualities of baseball. Do you think?
Yeah, he chose probably had a little more pop, but other than that, I'd agree.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you agree. Anyway, point is, so now there's a new rule set in place where if it is a tie game after the ninth inning, you go into a swing off where Dave Roberts and Aaron Boone, the two managers of the teams, get to pick representatives to partake in a home run derby style tiebreaker. And pretty much they choose 3 people, and each batter gets 3 swings. And then at the end, you add up the amount of home runs they've hit, and whichever team has hit more home runs during the tiebreaker will win the All-Star game. And I believe Aaron Boone, being the bonehead he is, chose Brent Rooker, Aranda, and who's the other one am I missing?
Rosarena.
Was it Randy? It was Randy. See, Johnny, you're on fire today, dude. Aaron Boone, the bonehead, chose a Randy Rosarena, Brent Rooker, and Jonathan Aranda. And then Dave Roberts chose Kyle Stowers, who had no idea he was partaking in this competition, Kyle Schwarber, who ended up winning the MVP, and of course, Pete Alonso, who didn't even get to bat. So, pretty much to sum it up, Kyle Schwarber pretty much won the game for the National League. He hit 3 home runs in his 3 swings, and it granted him the MVP award for the All-Star game. Now, there is a little bit of a debate here. I mean, I don't know if the rules state that it has to be like, if it's like dependent on the actual game itself and not the tiebreaker, but I think if it's, if you include the tiebreaker, yeah, Kyle Schwarber really deserved that MVP. He literally won the game for the National League. There's no debate there. But, we have Zachary Pappenberg in this call, and he's going to argue a different thing. And some people like to think Pete Alonso deserved the MVP. So what do you guys think? Did Pete Alonso deserve the All-Star Game MVP? Zach, I mean, you're the Met fan. What do you think?
Look, I I feel like a lot of people are gonna expect me to come guns blazing. I really should, but then again, it's the All-Star games to have fun. Ultimate goal is to obviously for your side, the NL, for me, to win and to get home field advantage for the World Series. That's really the goal of the game for me. But I really he deserved it. Pete for the NL. Whatever. Stop me in
No,
the
no,
face.
no, no, no. You
Because
said
you do this all the time.
no.
You make a face and you throw me
I
off.
think you said something else that I don't know if I want
What
to
I
correct
say?
you. I don't know if I want to correct you on.
I don't think I said anything wrong. Anyways,
I think you
Pete
did.
Alon what did I say?
I don't know.
Say it.
You said something about home field for the World Series.
I said home field advantage.
They don't do
Is
that
it
They don't do that anymore, big dog.
whatever? Whatever. I'm messed up on that. Let's get back to the regular scheduled programming. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, Pete Alonso, right? Hit the 3-run bomb, really was deserving of the MVP award. If he got to bat, especially in the swing off, I guarantee he would have 100% won the MVP award. But because, you know, Schwarber came up and did what he did, won the game for the NL, they gave it to Schwarber. And obviously it's been the talk of the town all over social media. I really think Alonso was deserving of it because his 3-run homer means a heck of a lot more. Granted, they didn't win the game because of it, but his 3-run homer means a heck of a lot more than, hitting soft toss in a swing off.
So Pete Alonso's home run that didn't win them the game means more than Kyle Schwarber's 3 home runs that did win them the game.
I think in my eyes, yes. In my eyes, yes. Dude, it's soft toss. It's a fun aspect to the game, bro. It's soft toss. It's not that impressive to hit home runs off of a lob.
We're not talking about impressive. We're talking about what won them the game. Kyle Schwarber hit 3 home runs to win them the game.
Still, I still think, especially if Pete Alonso got up to bat, he definitely would have won MVP,
Okay, well he didn't.
and he didn't. It is what it is.
Johnny,
But
Johnny, what do you think? What are your thoughts here?
Listen, I think this whole
No,
argument is kind of.
don't shake your head because you brought this up, Zach. You're shaking your head.
If you want to say what won them the game, sure, give it to Schwarber, but that whole thing, like, I think Zach's got a really fair point. It's the home run derby part two, which I thought was pretty lame, honestly. So, yeah, it
He
was.
won them the game. That's what MVP
so
is
what?
for.
So what?
What do
And,
you
like,
mean?
Anybody
So
can. Okay,
what?
okay. Listen,
End of the
listen.
day, timeout. Who was on hitting for the American League? Let's be Brent Rooker and what else?
You're
I
disrespecting Brent Rooker?
I'm saying, and after that,
I'm telling you, the reason guys like Judge and Riley were probably not batting.
they weren't there anymore.
No, yeah, they 100% left. That's why guys like Otani and all those people. Tarek Skubal was in street clothes by that point. Once these guys are done, they're out of the game. They probably leave. They put their clothes on. They just, they're just there for fun. But Kyle Schwarber literally won the NL.
Back to discredit to go what you were saying, it is hard to hit 3 home runs.
It is very hard. It is hard to hit BP home runs.
Heck, it is, especially like
You just said you can't say it's hard to hit BP home runs. You can't preface it like that.
why not?
It's not. It's because it's not impressive. It's
They
just
were
not.
doing, Zach. That's what they were doing.
Granted, I know, I understand that, but dude, hitting a home run off of a lob, I don't care if it's 3 times
Dog,
in a row.
it is hard to hit home runs in BP, bro. There's no they
Zach
generate
hit
the
3 out of
power.
40 pitches. He had 40 lobs and hit 3 home runs.
Dude, exactly, literally exactly. They have to generate the power because you don't have a pitcher throwing 90 miles an hour. Like, they have to generate their power from these soft tosses. It doesn't matter, bro. It is impressive. And Mets fans, this is ridiculous. This is unreal. If Pete Alonso was in any other jersey, you would not have this argument.
Bro, if If it was any other person besides Pete Alonso, you would not argue me on this.
Schwarber won them the game.
Like
It
saying like
doesn't
he's the
matter.
MVP to Corbin Carroll for hitting home run. Like no.
Schwarber won the NL the game. He was the hero. There is no NL winner without Kyle Schwarber. You can say, what if Pete Alonso? Okay, you can say that, but Pete Alonso didn't bat. That's reality. We don't know what Pete Alonso could have done, so you can't take that into account. Kyle Schwarber won the NL the game. It's as simple as that. I don't know what else to say here.
Look, I know I'll have a lot of Mets fans in the comments.
No, you will not, because
I
there are no
will.
such thing as
I
Mets
will
fans.
because a lot of people feel, along with me, that
Mets fans.
Pete Alonso is more deserving
Literally-
of the MVP than Kyle Schwarber. But
Literally, only Mets fans think that, and there's only like 4 of you guys out there. Like that. Like, to be totally honest, I have only seen Mets fans talk about like debate this.
because it's worth talking about. Again, dude, it's not really that impressive to hit lobs.
All right, okay.
It really isn't.
All right, next pod, whole segment. We're gonna bring you to a field, and me and John, we're gonna throw you some soft, soft toss. We're gonna
Okay.
lob, and you have to hit home runs. 3 home runs in 3 swings. How about that? But we'll take you to the Little League field in my town. We'll give you 3 swings, hit 3 home
Oh,
runs.
Little League field? I could do that easily.
Dog, you are not doing it.
I have one knee right now, and I promise you I will.
I would love to see you hit 3 home runs in a row.
On a Little League field.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I would love to see you try.
I'm gonna do. All right, let's not get off topic here.
This is very on topic because you said it's not impressive.
I look again. What's more impressive, hitting a home run off of a lob or hitting a home run off a fastball?
It's the
There's two-
fashion. It's the fashion of like what it was. It was the weight of what it was. Okay, if I went up to bat blindfolded and hit a home run, but the score was like 10-1, do I deserve MVP? No, I don't deserve MVP just because mine might have been more impressive. Which one had more weight, more impact on deciding the outcome of the game? Kyle Schwarber.
Yes.
Schwarber won them
Kyle
the
Schwarber's.
game.
Kyle Schwarber's had more impact. Yes, I guess. Sure, but I don't know. I'm a Mets fan bias right now, and I thought initially he should have started, and I know I didn't make it clear on the last pod that obviously the fan voting decides that, but I didn't make it clear, and I got attacked for it. So
Yeah, you're talking
I
about
just
Mets
thought-
fans fucking defending you. Hell no.
yeah, whatever. I was mainly trying to say that if there was a year, this was the year he should start. That was my point with that. But regardless, I still think he came up big when the NL needed a little bit of a boost, a little bit more of a boost. They were already up 2-0. Listen. I hate when you do that. You like make faces and you throw me off.
You're like when the NL needed a boost, they were already winning.
They were up 2-0. Yes.
They were winning.
But it propelled them further.
Then they blew
was
it. Who
was a
blew it?
3-1
Edwin Diaz.
It wasn't even Edwin Diaz's run.
Edwin Diaz still gave up the run though.
I feel like it was if it was any other person in this situation, if any other person hit that 3-run homer, it'd be a completely different conversation.
Who? Other than Pete Alonso?
Other than Pete Alonso, it'd be a completely different conversation for you.
In this hypothetical made-up world, does Kyle Schwarber still hit 3 home runs to win the NL the All-Star game?
Sure.
Then yeah, okay, Kyle Schwarber deserves the MVP.
Okay. Let's just move on. For the sake of time, let's just move on.
I thought the swing off was fantastic. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great addition. Good All-Star game this year for the most part. It was boring at the start a little bit, but overall it was great. I enjoyed it very much.
It eventually picked up, and I too agree with you. I really liked the swing off at the end. I thought that was a really fun little way to end it and not have it go to extras at all. The swing off was a perfect way to end the All-Star game, perfect way to end All-Star weekend or All-Star break. Um, but speaking of more All-Star news, the MLB Home Run Derby also took place on Monday, and just not to sugarcoat it, Cal Raleigh won the Derby, put on a performance, did a great job. But I gotta say there was a couple things that I liked from the Home Run Derby. One being seeing O'Neal Cruz hit bombs, like I'm talking crazy bombs. 513 he hit a ball. That alone, I think he was hitting balls too at like 120 speed. Exit velos, that's just what he does. But exit velos like 120. It was crazy to watch. It was. But there was also the disappointment side, and I feel like I want to address that too, which is Jazz. Jazz, I look, I really thought he was going to get more than 3 home runs,
I didn't.
but he could not put anything out. Anything out. 3 home runs in a derby, probably one of the worst performances I've seen with my own 2 eyes in a derby. And that might not be saying much, but 3 home runs is pretty pathetic. But overall, look, I really enjoyed the derby this year. Um, Pete Alonso stepped back, so I mean that it was a new crew, new group. And I thought they did a really good job with the Derby in general. I like the more so the round based, and I like how when they earned the extra time, it was 3 outs, and then they got a chance to earn an extra out. I like the outs perspective more so in the Derby. And I don't think they should ever really strayed away from that. Um, because it just really worked so well. But overall, it was a really fun derby to watch. It was really entertaining. I really like to see James Wood in the derby. He was really fun to watch. Brent Rooker put on a little bit of a show. Junior Caminero was fantastic. Um, and I think there's a lot of promise there for him in the Rays. So yeah, it was a really fun derby to watch.
Yeah.
Deej, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, like Cal Raleigh, already having an incredible year as it is, wins the home run derby, and what seems to be his magical season. All he really needs now is the MVP award, but I still think that's Aaron Judge's award just based off all the stats, but that's not what this topic is. Overall, it was a pretty cool home run derby. I mean, yeah, Jazz did not have a good performance. He was just there for vibes, and I texted Johnny. I said that Jazz was going to hit 0 home runs. So he played past his expectations by 3 home runs in my eyes. So I see that as a win. You can laugh, but him hitting 3 home runs when I expected him to hit negative home runs, I will take it as a win. Yeah, O'Neal Cruz just absolutely mashing baseballs at like such high velocities is always so much fun, and that's exactly what he is. Like that's all he does, and I think he had was it him that had the hardest hit ball since Judge in the Derby? I think Judge had like top five since 2017, and then I think O'Neal Cruz broke it or joined that top five, and that's kind of insane to do because Judge is just such an elite player, and when you're able to match that eliteness, it's just such an honor to hold. And James Wood, I wish he could have lasted a little longer. But he's gonna be bright. And Junior Caminero, honestly, probably the biggest surprise. I think him and Jazz were had the lowest odds to win it all, and Caminero making it all the way to the final round. Like that's super fun and good for him, really. The Braves, the Rays have a bright future with him, and he's gonna be such a stud. And I'm so glad that he's my fantasy third baseman for the foreseeable future. And I think overall it was a solid derby. Johnny, any words for the derby? I
Oh,
mean, it didn't really stick out to me like any other derby personally, but I thoroughly enjoyed it for
oh,
the most part. Oh, okay. So
no,
you
no,
just
you guys haven't already said.
cool. We
All
love
right.
having you on, Johnny.
Never mind.
What? No, no, you feel
Uh,
free. Say whatever you want. Feel
Same thing
free.
every year.
Say it again.
Same thing every year. It's cool. It's fun to watch. I like it.
All right, in your eyes, what would you do to make the home run derby more like?
I wouldn't do anything to make it better. It's good how it is now.
If you wanted to add a little bit of zip, what would you
Not as many
do?
stars that there used to be in it, but that's just part
Okay,
of
so what's your like ideal home run derby roster?
that. If I got to pick the roster and who I'd want to see, is
Yeah.
that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
I'd I'd like to see Judge do it again. I
Okay.
know he's not going to. He already won it. I'd
Mhm.
like, there's other guys, like not off the top of my head that I'm gonna name, but
Why?
Tatis, would love to see Fernando Tatis do the home run derby. He
Okay.
hasn't. Uh, Ellie, want to see Ellie do it.
Okay.
It's just that's really it.
Only three people.
I'm not really a fan of, I was like, there were like maybe two guys that I was like excited to watch, and everyone else was just kind of meh.
Who are the
But
two guys?
Cal
Okay.
and what's his name?
Mhm.
Cal. It's one of the other guys. I forgot.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, no, I like the other guys too. What's the hey, why don't we go into the next topic?
Yeah, let's do that.
The MLB trade deadline rumors. Johnny, you're a Yankee fan, I believe, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you heard about Eugenio Suarez.
Yes.
Do you think that Eugenio Suarez to the Yankees is the worst kept secret?
I mean, yeah, did you not see when he grounded out to Jazz and they were like, and he grounds out to one of his future teammates, possibly Jazz Chisholm. So,
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, do you think it has a high chance of happening?
no, because Brian Cashman never does what's expected. So,
So what is Brian Cashman going to do in your eyes?
nothing. He's not gonna do anything.
Nothing.
He's
You,
gonna go to the press. This is what Brian Cashman's gonna do. We've seen it before. He might get a reliever or two. There's going to be hype around getting Eugenio Suarez. We may get him, we may not, probably not. And he's going to go to the press and say, I like what we got now. We're in it to win it. We're elites. We're the best team ever, and we're going to win what we got. That's what he's going to say.
okay.
So we know that. He's done that before. He did that. He said those words during the season we went 82 and 80.
Hmm.
And I can't imagine. I hope he does it. It's what he should do. But knowing
Mhm.
Cashman, you know Cashman.
I'm very aware of Brian Cashman.
So that's what I think is going to happen.
Okay. I'll make mine quick. I do think the Yankees are going to get a third baseman, whether it is Eugenio Suarez, which I think makes the most sense for them, or whether it is Ke'Bryan Hayes, which I hope it's not, or IKF. I kind of hope it's not either. I think Eugenio Suarez makes the most sense. What the package is, I'm not going to speculate because I'm not a GM, but I think they'll get him. I definitely think they get some random relievers in there that Matt Blake will make incredible. The next Luke Weavers and the next Clay Holmes before he decided to be the worst pitcher in Major League Baseball. Maybe they'll get a starter in there. I know Zach Gallen was rumored, Merrill Kelly potentially in a Eugenio Suarez deal, kill two birds with one stone. Mitch Keller is a name that I've heard thrown around. Ryan McMahon is another name if they don't get Suarez. It's just a bunch of names and rumors, and I do think the Yankees are going to have a significant trade deadline. The question is, who are they going to get? But then again, if they don't get anyone, I'm not going to pout because I'm not going to be surprised because Cashman has a tendency to not really impress and make these incredible trade deadline moves a lot. A lot of the trade deadline moves kind of fall flat and sometimes even backfire for the Yankees. So I think Eugenio Suarez to the Yankees makes the most sense. Will they get him? Who knows? But that's just my take on the MLB trade deadline. And we don't really have so much time, so there's only so many teams we could talk about. I know Zach was dying to talk about the Mets, but then again, if we have four Mets fans
Look,
watching,
I'll make it quick.
okay,
I'll make it
I'm
quick.
timing you.
I'll make it very quick.
I'm timing you.
Um, Trade deadline rumors for the Mets. The Mets are really rumored to be very active in the deadline, and I would like to see them get focused solely on pitching. That's what I think that the main target is with David Stearns right now. Um, he's really going to go after bullpen guys. Not a lot of names that have been rumored have been Felix Bautista, which I think is a long shot. I think there is no shot in hell that the Mets really get him. Him, Bednar from the Pirates was another name that was rumored. Those two I feel like are going to be really hard ass, but who knows? Maybe David Stearns pulls something out and you know actually brings them to the team. Whatever. They've been also looking at David Robertson. They've been looking at lesser names in the bullpen for the Orioles, which is Sir Anthony Dominguez, and they've also been looking at Gregory Soto. Um, they've just been looking at a ton of guys for the bullpen. I would like to see them pick up one of them. And then I would also like to see them go after some starting pitching. A lot of guys have been rumored like Seth Lugo. Um, there's been Mitch Keller. There has even been recent reports about Zach Allen. That's a very, very, very long shot too. I think if they're going to get a starting pitcher, they're going to get either Keller or maybe Lugo, maybe bring him back. And I would welcome him back with open arms. But there's that. And then, if they decide to get an outfielder, I wouldn't mind like a center fielder. Like I know they've been talking about the big boy and Duran. I really don't see the Red Sox moving him. If they do, it would kind of shock me, and it kind of sets them back because Jarren Duran is that young outfielder, young spark plug in their lineup that you would want to keep for the future, for the foreseeable future. So I don't understand why they would move him, but at the end of the day, if they do decide to move him and the Mets do target him, I would love to have him as an everyday center fielder. I just don't see that as a realistic option. The realistic options are probably Cedric Mullins, or I've seen his name tossed around, and if we got him back, I would not want him at all. Harrison Bader. If that move is made, I don't know what I would do because that is not a replacement. You're not getting a replacement for a defensive outfielder and Tyrone Taylor. You're not getting any production from that center field spot. It's just the same kind of deal. Um, so I just really quick, just to wrap it up. Those are some of the guys I would like to see the Mets target. And who knows? Maybe David Stearns does pull a rabbit out of his hat and get like one of the top guys. Um, and brings them over and maybe they make some noise with the Mets, but as of right now, I feel like the little bit lesser options, the more mid-level options are more realistic and would kind of fit the lineup a little bit better. So that's my take on the Mets trade deadline.
Cool. Okay. Done.
Yeah. Yeah, Deej, done.
Okay, awesome. Now we're gonna go to the NBA. All to the three Mets fans. One Mets fan probably clicked off. To the three Mets fans that are still left, I hope you enjoyed that. That was 3 minutes and 16 seconds. So, if you classify that as quick, then I guess you did what you said you were gonna do.
Yeah, I classify that as quick.
Okay.
But go ahead, go
I
on to the next topic.
I don't. I think of like a minute maybe, but okay.
Go ahead, go on to the next topic.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're gonna talk about the NBA now. We have two NBA topics. We'll try and make this quick. Um, Pretty much one big rumor has been going around. LeBron James is possibly getting traded. You guys think that's actually happening? What do you think? No, Johnny says no. He's straight to the point. I like that. Quick with it.
I think it's going to be very hard to move LeBron. As much as Rob Pelinka and the Lakers would want to do that and want to move away from the LeBron era, and they're pretty much really fed up with that with him. I just don't see them doing it. It's going to be hard because I feel like LeBron's going to want obviously to be traded with his son. He wants to play with his son in his last year or so. um in the ABA. So I think it's going to be really hard to move. But if he does go somewhere, I could totally see him being traded to the Mavericks or the Cavs. I feel like those are the top two teams for me in my eyes that he would get moved to.
Yeah. I was kind of on the train that I don't think LeBron is getting moved, but in the NBA when there's smoke, there's fire, and I think that a team like the Mavericks and the Cavs would only get him if it's a buyout scenario. I do see a team like the Cavs. Sorry.
Oh,
Whoa, Johnny, what was that?
that word.
It's been said before on this pod. It's not new.
That was PG.
Go ahead, Deej.
Thank you.
Continue with your point.
Thank you. Sorry. I could see a team like the Mavericks or maybe the Knicks just going all out because that's the last move that they could need to win a championship. I think the Mavericks do have good depth that the Lakers would want, except I just don't know what a package for LeBron James would be. Keep in mind, LeBron's like 40 something or nearing 40, and he's only got like 1, 2 years left in the league. So it's not going to cost you a Cooper Flag. It's not going to cost you like an AD or Kyrie. Like, I just don't like. Would Derek Lively? No, like they wouldn't trade Derek Lively. I have no clue what a LeBron trade would look like. Zero clue. they could just want to get off his salary and literally might just take like a draft pick. And I could see that happening. Maybe the Knicks are willing to give up like Mikal Bridges, get off his money, or OG Anunoby, and just you take LeBron, and then if LeBron retires, you clear up a bunch of cap space. I could see that happening. But I don't know. I don't know. I think LeBron back to the Cavs would be super cool. I think he could be the missing piece for them. But he would only go back in a buyout scenario, and I just don't see LeBron James taking a buyout, not at this point in his career. But LeBron getting traded would be super fun and interesting. But right now, with the limited time that we do have to go into our final topic, and we have to talk about a new former All-Star player that just moved teams, and Bradley Beal is officially a Los Angeles Clipper. So today, to sum it up, Bradley Beal, this whole long drawn out process with the Phoenix Suns, it's officially over. It's dead. Bradley Beal was bought out by the Phoenix Suns, essentially was paid like 90 something million dollars to say, hey, we don't want you to play for us. And he joined the Clippers on a 2-year, $11 million deal. For Bradley Beal, this is great value. The Clippers are going to run out a lineup of James Harden, Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard, Nick Batum, and Zubac. That is insane. That is an insane lineup. And on top of that, you did lose Norman Powell, but you got John Collins and Brook Lopez as well this offseason. That is a top team in the Western Conference. Now, granted, that is a very old, aging team. They can be very injury prone at times. If they still had Paul George, I think that would be super fun, but Paul George is kind of washed now. As long as everything goes right for them and everyone stays healthy and, maybe OKC gets hurt or, Jokic and the Nuggets are not playing to their full potential, that Clippers team is going to be very fun. And they're at the point where they have no choice. They kind of have to go all in because they don't have their picks. They don't have any assets for the draft or anything. So they're in a situation where they're forced to like try to contend. And you know what? Given the situation they're in, I think this is a pretty solid team, and I definitely would not be surprised if the Clippers do make a deep playoff run. But then again, it is the Clippers. I would not be surprised if they don't make a deep playoff run. But I think right now, this is a very solid construction of a team. Tyronn Lue is a pretty solid head coach as well. I think this is a good this is good for the Clippers, and I think they're going to be very fun. Does anyone want to add anything? And also, I do feel bad for Suns fans because like that whole team was just stripped apart. They went from KD, Booker, like McCall, Cam Johnson, Chris Paul. Like it was stripped apart. Now they're left with Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks. Like they got nothing. They got nothing, and with very minimal draft assets as well. So I'm sorry. That's the Kevin Durant experience. I trust me, Phoenix fans. I know, but yeah, it's a crazy turnaround for the Clippers. And I'm sure they would much rather have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander right now, but it's a crazy turnaround for the Clippers and it's a crazy turnaround for the Phoenix Suns as well. So, I mean, unless y'all got anything to say, Johnny, you look so willing to say something right now.
I have nothing to say.
Really? Well, I did not guess that from that look. Zach, what about you?
Oh yeah, I got a lot to say honestly on the
Sure.
Beal Beal to the
like
Clippers
two
thing.
minutes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously with Beal going to the Clippers, it was the right move for the Suns to make. The Suns had nothing right after the Durant trade and getting caught up in the whole aspect of the big three and the big three leading them to a championship, and that didn't work out. And their major issue, like you said, Deej, was depth. And they still don't have any depth, and they're down Bradley Beal and they're down KD. So it was the right move to make, but Phoenix is just really in shambles right now. Moving to the Clippers, like you said, could really be a good team. They have a lot of potential to be really good next year. They got a lot of good guys in that lineup. That starting five is pretty good if you ask me.
Mhm.
With Harden, with Kawhi, with now Beal, with John Collins, with Zubac. That's a really solid starting five, and then you got some supporting cast on the bench. Um, I as long as they could stay healthy and they could stay on the court together, they will be fine. I feel like they will be a good team. They will make the playoffs as far as they will go. I can't answer that yet because usually what
Well,
happens with the Clippers is
they're
they
the
don't really make
Clippers,
it that far. They're the
like the
Clippers.
Mets. They're like the Mets.
Okay. Yeah. So the Clippers have a really, really good shot in move in a good direction next year. They have a really good chance of, having a really good record and making a push in the postseason. But there's not really too much complaints on the Clippers end. I thought it was a fine deal, fine trade, obviously because Phoenix ate pretty much all of Beal's contract. So yeah, good move for the Clippers. I think they have a really solid core, solid starting five, and let's see what they do next year.
Mhm.
But with that being said, that about wraps up episode 62 of the Do You Know Ball podcast, and we will catch you guys next week for episode 63.